seated. So most of you are already there. Just getting cozy, comfortable, and we'll get started. So just coming to whatever is comfortable for you. And as always, taking these few moments to ground, to close the eyes, to arrive. To check in how we are arriving today. And this opportunity to slow down and deepen the breath. So let's all do that together. It's nice when we breathe together. Take a big audible exhale now, just to empty your breath wherever you were. And then let's take a deep breath in together. And then nose or mouth, letting the breath out. And again, a deep breath in, belly, ribs, and chest. Let's hold this breath at the top for a moment. And then a big exhale, nose or even mouth, audible sigh. One more time, inhaling, belly, ribs, and chest. Fill the breath up, up, up. Hold the breath at the top. And let it go. And just allowing the breath to find a natural rhythm. Bringing our awareness to our heart, and it can just be with the mind's eye, or we can take our hands to the heart. Tuning into our seed of gratitude. And as we contemplate gratitude today, our reflection or our focus is bringing gratitude to what we don't have. Which sounds funny because we often are grateful for what we have. But what about a moment to be grateful for all the things that we don't have? The worries that we don't have. The illnesses that we don't have. The discomforts that we don't have. The problems that we don't have, maybe we once had, but we no longer have. If you think about it, there is actually a lot to be grateful for. A lot of things that we don't have that we're grateful we don't. And by acknowledging what we don't have, it allows us to see more clearly what we do have. So just one more moment here, thinking about how grateful we are not to have some things in our life. Another way of expressing the gratitude for what we do have. And then one last breath here. And a gentle sigh. We're going to stretch the arms up and up to the sky, overhead. Big reach and yawn. And as we exhale, bring the hands down to the heart center. And we'll do that one more time just to really ground and connect body and breath. Inhaling, arms up. Reaching up for all that we have. Exhaling, hands to heart. Gratitude for the things that we don't. And then we're going to stretch our legs out in front of us. Give them a little shake. I'm going to turn to my side, and we're going to start off with a Janu Shirsasana. But before we go into the forward fold, we're just going to wake up the hip a little bit. So we're going to bend the right knee, bring the foot in. Take your hands behind you, and you're just going to let the knee drop out to the side and then pull it back in up towards the sky. Just to give your hip a bit of movement, mobility. Maybe it's feeling good, maybe it goes to the floor quite easily, maybe there's some resistance, some tightness there. Good. And then you're going to let the knee drop and just use your hand, the right hand, to kind of lean into your left hand. Just press that hip open. You can start by bringing the hand toward the knee and then kind of massage upwards towards the hip. Keep pressing down into the floor all the way towards the hip crease. And then all the way back towards the knee. Just a little stretch for the inner thigh. And if you're finding that the knee doesn't go all the way to the floor, is there something nearby you can grab, like a pillow or a block, to support the knee so that it can truly relax? Those muscles of the inner thigh can really release. Then start to find your upright positions, find your sit bones underneath your hips. And the sole of your foot towards the leg. It can be somewhere lower as well. Sometimes it doesn't fit so easily in the inner thigh, so it can be in the lower leg. And take a big stretch up. And then as you exhale, coming into your forward fold, noticing and checking in if the knee wants to bend a little bit or if it's happy being straight. If you don't have the foot or the toes, it's okay. You can even wrap your hands around your lower leg, around the calf. If your hands reach to the foot, you can either hold the toes and pull back, or you can hold the outer edges of the foot. And the elbows start to get heavy, the forearms start to sink. And checking in with the head and shoulders, making sure there's nothing tense or tightening here. And breathing into all that space in the back body. And let's take one more breath. And we're going to inhale, we're going to slowly come up and we're going to bend this left leg. We're going to bend the left knee and we're going to take hold of the foot. This is a little balancing act. We're going to try to balance on our sit bones. Inhale, lift the foot up. Beautiful. If your leg is really tight, it might help with a strap, but if you don't have a strap nearby, you can just hold the back of the leg also. And then just see how straight the leg can go. Maybe it goes all the way straight. Maybe the knee stays bent, and that's okay too. Lift up through the chest, inhale. As you exhale, bend your elbows out to the sides of the room like you're going to kiss your knee or your shin. So it's a nice big stretch here. And if you're flexing your foot, you might feel that in your calf. Keep those shoulders down, away from the ears. And then from here, we're going to take a twist. So we're going to take the right hand to the outside of your left foot. And the left arm is going to reach up to the sky and we're going to twist it open. Twist, twist, twist. Take one more breath, pressing down through the sit bone. And then exhale, we're going to drop the foot to the floor. And then you're going to try to slide that leg in front of you and stay in that twist. Your knee might not go all the way to a straight position. Maybe the knee stays bent. And then let's take this left arm and wrap it behind our back. Almost as if you're trying to find your right hip crease. And keep lengthening through the spine. Pull the chest forward so that you're not rounded in your back as much as possible. Even if you have to back up and bring your hand a little higher up the leg. Sometimes that gives us more space for the back. One more breath. And we're going to take it to the other side. So we're going to come back to center. The right leg is going to come up and over. sole of the foot plants to the floor. Wrap your left elbow around your knee. Breathe in, reach the right arm up to the sky, and then we're going to take the twist in the opposite direction. And I always find it nice to hug the knee in toward the center line. And you might, if you're tight in the outer hip, get a nice little stretch in that too. Let your head be the last turn. Keep rooting down through sit bones, lengthening through crown of head. And coming back through center. Extending the right leg, give the legs a little bounce, a little shake, releasing that side. And then starting again from the very beginning, start to draw your left foot in. Bring the foot to the inner thigh and just take the hands behind you for a moment. Get the mobility through the hip, lift the knee up, and then drop the knee down. So again, it's easier to find our gratitude sometimes. Sometimes it's easier to define what something is by first defining what it's not. So we can be grateful for not how we're moving, but the problems in our body that we don't have, not what we do have. We don't have the problem of mobility, perhaps, that we're able to get to the floor. Let's drop the knee open, the thigh open, and just taking left hand to the knee, leaning into the right hand. Can we feel into the stretch of that left inner hip and thigh? Beautiful. And then coming to sit upright, coming to find your sit bones. Again, the knee can be bent if it needs to. Inhale, a big stretch. And exhale, coming forward into your Janu Shirsasana. Again, wherever your hands land. Toes, shin. Closing the eyes. Deepening that connection with breath. And then we're going to slowly back out of that. Draw your right foot in with you. Grab hold of the edges of the foot. And then find your sit bones as you lift that leg up. It might not go straight, and that's okay. If it goes straight, wonderful. But try to lift up through the chest. And then give yourself a bow here. Elbows pull out to the side as the forehead comes towards the shins. And trying to keep flexion of your foot. Toes pull back. Heel presses forward. And then let's take this into a twist. Left hand comes to the outside of the foot or ankle or leg. Inhale, right arm up. Get a little bit taller through your spine. And then twist to the right side. Maybe you can look all the way back towards your right hand thumb. One more breath. And then let's bring the right foot to the floor. Slide it away and then follow the leg with your chest, with your torso. But keep your belly, ribs, and chest spinning towards the right side. And we can finally wrap the right arm around the lower back. Again, think of the length from the tailbone to the crown of your head. So there's space here, even if you have to back out and let go of the foot. Take one more breath. And then coming out of that all the way, and we're going to take the twist to the other side. Left leg comes over and across, hooking the right arm across the knee. Find your sit bones, and then one more time, inhale, left arm up, and take that hand behind you, looking over your back shoulder. Try to land on tented fingertips. so that you can really root the fingertips down to find that length through the crown of your head. And then inhaling as we come back to the sky, reach the arms up, turning forward. Extend that left leg. Find where you need to be. Find your sit bones, a bend in your knee, and then take your forward fold. One last bow. Breathing length from tailbone to crown of the head. And one more breath here. And then slowly we can rise. You can keep your legs extended or tuck them back into your seat just to finish. With eyes closed, going back to our intention at the start of the practice. A moment just to acknowledge and recognize all that we're grateful not to have. And bringing our hands to our heart, give yourself a big bow. And thank you so much for spending these few minutes with us today.